Yes, team, and welcome to session 15 of Mindset Mastery. So, as I always remind you guys, this is not a do in and out course. We follow each session in order. So, if you've somehow ended up here and you haven't completed session 1 to 14, please go back and complete them in order. Everything right until I complete the 50-second week is strategically planned and set out. It's not a dip in and dip out course, although you can repeat the sessions multiple times. Now, this one might sting a little bit. So if you were truly honest with yourself now, have you been living in denial about denial? Now, I can honestly say this now that I did this for 15 years of my life. So if you are, don't beat yourself up about it. But trust me, it's a surefire way to make sure that you achieve nothing with your body or your business. You know, for years, no, I've not got a problem with alcohol. No, I've not got a problem with my toxic behavior. No, everything's fine. No, my mental health's fine. You know, I can keep the mask up, covering the insecurities. I can keep pretending that I'm operating at 100% and that things are okay. But there was a lot of things that I was in denial about, you know, and it's not until you're truly honest about it. Like very many times I was running my business with a Sunday league mindset and work rate, and then getting very angry because I wasn't a millionaire yet. You know, I was putting in 5 or 6 out of 10 effort and then getting angry that I didn't have a 10 out of 10 result. But in my heart of hearts, I was giving it a 10 out of 10, and you know, the drink wasn't a problem, and missing a couple of nights sleep every weekend wasn't a problem. What I'm saying is I was in denial about a lot of things and expecting a result that didn't align with the true effort that I was putting in because I was in denial about it. Now, everything you do or don't do impacts your success. So living in denial means that we avoid taking ownership of our behavior. We avoid taking responsibility for our actions, and we trick ourselves into brushing everything under the carpet and thinking that there won't be any consequence to our actions. It won't matter if we go out this weekend. That pizza's not going to touch the sides. It's not important. You know, I'm fine as I am. And you know, all of these choices and decisions have a consequence. So essentially what denial is we are refusing to face the real truth. And this might be anything from you're really battling depressed thoughts, but you keep pretending you're happy. You're absolutely miserable in your relationship, but you don't have the balls to leave it. You are drinking, sniffing, gambling and whatever way more than you're ever being honest to anyone, even yourself, about. And you keep telling yourself lies, just like I did. I did a full podcast with Tom's Talks, didn't I? What changed my life, he asked me. I said, I stopped fucking lying to myself. Now, we will destroy our own trust doing this, because the person we cheat on most is ourselves every day. Every time we skip a rep, every time we press snooze, every time we don't have a great week at work because we went too heavy at the weekend, every time we choose the pizza instead of the pasta, you know, every time we do the thing that doesn't move us towards the goal, we're actually cheating ourselves, because we're cheating on doing the actions that don't lead us towards the goal that we want. So, you know, we refuse to believe or discuss that the real problem is ourselves. And then we wonder why we live an unhappy life and never go anywhere, because we're avoiding the real issue. We're pretending about our behaviors. Now, you know right now, as do I, every single one of you, and I'm going to call bullshit unless there's an absolute perfect human watching this, knows damn well that you are doing certain things on certain days that hold you back from achieving your goals, and they cause you pain, but you refuse to admit that I don't have a problem with food. I don't have a problem with drink. I don't have a problem with cocaine. Only last week, and you'll know who you are if you're watching, I had a conversation with a client, and he said, yeah, I think I've probably got a problem with alcohol. Within me asking 3 questions, he then replied, actually, there's no probably about it. He was drinking most nights and heavily at the weekend. And I said, just stop then. And he said, I can't. I said, you're an alcoholic. Trust me, if you're doing something that's negatively impacting your life and you can't stop it, be that food, drugs, porn, adultery, gambling, you're addicted to it. If you can't stop doing it and it's negatively affecting your life, you're addicted to it. Being addicted to alcohol doesn't mean you have to be a tramp who's drinking 3 bottles of vodka and living outside Bargain Booze on West Street. If you can't go tonight without a drink or the next 7 days, you're addicted to alcohol, especially if it's negatively impacting your family. Now, we all do things, including me, that we know aren't going to move us towards our goal. But we will not admit they're an issue. In fact, we'd very often fight to defend that they're not. Now, these next 2 sessions are really, really going to help you, because what we tend to do as well, when things are going well, when we're thriving, when everything's okay, we convince ourselves that everything's okay. So a personal story that I wrote down here, I had Freeman Fitness rocking. Music was rocking, my DJ career was rocking, I was number 2 in the charts, and I thought it was okay to party at every gig because I was on a high. I had a fuck ton of cash in the bank, I was still in reasonable shape, I was smashing life, I had a relentless end of people either wanting to book me for gigs or work with me, and I thought, this is cool. And this is what businessmen do as well. They're making loads of money, so they start spending it and going out every weekend. It's not a problem, it'll be fine. Until it's not. Now, deep down, I started to know that I was damaging and risking everything. The parties were going on longer, the nights were getting the lights were getting longer, blah, blah, blah. Put your teeth back in, Lee, as my nan would say. My energy was getting lower. My effort was getting lower, and deep down I knew I was risking everything. And at some point this was going to come on top because I was in denial. You start to think, it's very often not when things are going bad, and it wasn't until it was too late or the pain gets too much that you end up taking action like I did. But, when you're smashing it, you start to think you're indestructible. Now, how often, right, do you do it with food or drink or drugs or gambling or all 3, negativity? You know you're going to feel like shit. You know you're going to regret it, but yet you still do it anyway. Some people are even really open about it. No check-in from me this mate because I haven't done anything, and X, Y, and Z, and followed by 10 excuses. Well, the time it took you to tell me that you're not checking in this week because all these things happen, but you don't want me to worry because it's not a problem, you could have just actually done your check-in. But the check-in, what would that involve? Rather than just saying, no check-in this week from me, mate, because I haven't done anything, details left out. You'd actually have to detail what you'd not done and what you'd actually done. And you don't want to do it. Why? Because you're in denial. Now, if you want to move forward and denial is holding you back, then this training is for you. Because denial is essentially doing something that you know is going to have a negative effect, but doing it anyway. Like if I got a big bag of sniffing this weekend and went to a rave and stayed out from Friday until Sunday, my life is ruined for 2 weeks. My relationship is ruined. I would feel like a disgraceful father and role model. I would cringe listening to myself on here because I would be thinking, you hypocritical Pot and kettle, little bastard. So I know how it would make me feel, but if I still did it anyway, that's addiction and denial. Now, you have to face the truth. You have to face your truth. And you have to be honest today, right here now with me, about what's really holding you back. And you know 100% what it is. You know why you don't have your dream body. You know why you don't earn the amount of money you want to yet. And you know exactly what it is that's holding you back. So you have to stop lying to yourself. Like I said, I did a full podcast with Tom Talks on that's how I got where I am today. I'll share it in the group. Someone comment, please share Tom's Talks podcast in the private client group so I don't forget, because ADHD. So I was talking about why I took drugs. Again, I was in denial. Oh, it's because my mum died. Oh, it's because my dad never loved me. Oh, it's because my marriage ended. What a load of shit. Oh, it's because of my mental health. I take drugs because of my mental health. Oh, that's all really going to work, Lee, isn't it? I'm struggling with my mental health. I know what I'll do. I'll go and miss a night's sleep and stick some narcotics up my nose that give me dopamine and then deplete it for the entire week after and turn me into a miserable, mardy twat who just lives on junk food. Okay? But I had to face the truth of that was what was happening. I had to stop lying. I had to stop running away. I had to stop hiding from the real problem. And if I can, you can. And then you can be living the life that I am now too. But if you don't, you'll just keep distracting and you'll keep self-soothing with food and booze. Like, to win at life, you have to face the truth. And next we're going to come on to facing the devil. But you can't keep avoiding the problem and brushing it under the carpet. Face the truth. Stop running away from pain. Stop avoiding problems. And stop self-sedating to ease the pain. If something needs handling in your relationship and you're unhappy, fucking handle it. Because the longer you stay in it, the longer you're in denial, even though you haven't had sex for the last 2 years and you just don't even really talk anymore and you have no relationship, but you're convincing yourself that things are okay and they might get better one day. You know, you're in the job that you absolutely detest, but one day it might just randomly get better. It won't. You're just avoiding the problem because you don't want to deal with it. Now, the second that you take full responsibility and full ownership for your actions and take action and stop being in denial and have the conversations that you need to have and do the work that you need to do and stop making excuses, trust me, everything in your life goes to new levels. Because your life right now is a mirror image of all of your actions and all of your decisions of the last 30, 40, 50 years, whether you want to believe it or not. And if you believe that your life isn't a result of your own actions, and you're not willing to take ownership and responsibility of it, because you then understand that you need to adapt your behaviour with your new insights, teeth back in again, then you, my friend, are in denial. And the key to success is taking ownership and responsibility, getting out of denial and getting into honesty so you can stop cheating on yourself and others and start being honest with yourself and others. Build a level of self-trust. When you trust yourself, one, you'll get world-class results and other people will trust you too. I'll see you on session 16.